Hi there, my name is Gaurav Balan, and in this particular video, I want to show how you could set OptinChat campaign for your website or your funnel at a breeze. To begin with, whenever you log into OptinChat, you'll see this kind of menu and it will say campaigns. As you see these campaigns, as you create a new campaign, you'll be asked the very first question to add your photograph. All right, it's very easy to add your photograph. Just choose one and you're done. Now, other than that, before moving forward, you could see that there is an option of top bar name. Let me demonstrate to you what exactly these things are. Now, if you see on top right here, you could see there is an option which says, this photograph is there, and then there is Gaurav Madan. This is how, like, in reality, OptinChat looks on your website. All right. So first, you have to go ahead and give a top bar name. For example, I'll just go ahead and say Gaurav Madan. Next thing which you'll be asked for is intro text. Now, this intro text is really something which is very important with regard to OptinChat, because this is what creates curiosity. The visitor is going to be shown a message, an auto message, where the person is going to be asked a question. Okay, mostly that's what creates the curiosity. All right, and when it creates curiosity, the person clicks on it. Just like this, it says, would you like to get 300 plus free tools for your marketing needs? Now, this is an example question, or you could say an intro text. Now, I could easily go ahead and enter this. Would you like to get 300 plus free tools for your marketing needs? So normally we ask a question because it actually intrigues the user, and the user falls into opening the chat. The next thing which it says is opt-in question. Now, this is a sequence which is really important. So next thing what you could do is, now as soon as you hover over it or click on it, it would open up and it would say, now it has got another question which could be added here. It says opt-in question. Now, this is a question which will appear just like this, and it is asking, would you like to get 300 tools plus for your marketing needs? These are extensive and took me a lot of time to collate. You interested? Yes or no? So the opt-in question would obviously be something, driving more curiosity towards the first open loop, which we have done right now. So we go ahead and let me just, for the sake of simplicity, I'll copy this and we'll move forward. Then you could go ahead, these two speech bubbles, which are yes and no, these are by default. Okay. So the person could say yes or the person could say no, right? So the reply for no could also be just easily. So for example, if I say no, then, another question would be, you could just go ahead and maybe you could tell them or give them something else which they may be interested in. At the first place, they might go ahead and, opt in for some other freebie, perhaps. So next thing is email question. When user clicks yes, you have to collect their email ID, right? So for example, right now here, if I go and say yes, it will ask me something, a question, another question. So it will say, great, can I have your email ID? So what you could do is you could go ahead and ask for the person's email ID right here. And then you could say that I will not sell or your information ever. All right. So this is something which will increase your conversions for, obviously. So next thing is you could, what you could do is you could go and ask a name as well. For example, right now, if I say ABC here or ABS, it will tell me that, the email is not valid. So it has to be a valid email ID. So I could go ahead and now I could give my email ID just to make sure that everything is working fine. Here we go. Now, as soon as I give my email ID, the next thing is you could ask the person for the question. It says, can I have your name as well? All right. So what you could do is now, understand this very importantly, that now since the email ID has been collected, the email has already been submitted to your autoresponder, which you may have integrated with OptinChat. The user does not really have to reply to this question as well, but the user has already replied, meaning, he's already in a sequence of replying. So now you could go ahead and ask more questions. This is where OptinChat is really powerful, because in other opt-in forms or pop-ups for that matter, if you increase the number of fields, then perhaps the conversion rate would be going down. But in this case, if you go ahead and collect more information after this question as well, your email is already been collected, so the drop-off would be almost negligible. That's what the power of OptinChat really is. Now, next thing what you could do is, like, if says, let's say my name is Gaurav, call me Gaurav, Now after this, the person is done, you could go ahead and ask another question as well, or you could just say thank you. All right, so another question could have been possibly, this is mobile number question it says, but it's optional. So it can be mobile number or it can be any other question for that matter. For example, if I go ahead and I ask that, would you be, okay, so I could say, what's your favorite tool? Perhaps what I could do is, if I'm asking what's your favorite tool, I get a sense of what exactly the person is really into, or I could ask literally any question I want here. All right, so based on this, I could do a lot of segmenting right here. Now other than that, you could also have a thank you message once the person has entered his email ID, just like this. I have gone ahead and configured this thank you message. You could put your URL here of the thank you page, or you could just say thank you, we've received your email ID, and your account would be created, or whatever you are doing to collect the email ID, whatever you have promised in exchange as a freebie could be delivered here, or you could go ahead and just say that it would be delivered to your email. All right, now next thing, few of the things is like this has email validation, this even has phone number validation for that matter. All right, and then you could also go ahead and you could say, now there are certain things where we could do we could have exact match or contains on which particular on which particular URLs do you want to display this particular pop-up. You could go ahead and say that I want to display this pop-up on my entire website, and I could say just that it contains, if the user URL contains this, then perhaps it should be going ahead and you should show this particular pop-up. Or you could go ahead and you could just say that you want on a certain particular pages and not on all pages. All right, so this is something which is already there. This is really, really powerful stuff here. Okay, and once you've done this, you could either use this as exit intent pop-up. All right, so you could also say email question and thank you message there in exit intent. All right, or you could use it normally as well. So I could go ahead and save this, and now once I've done this, I could save this up, and I just have to add this script. All right, wherever you want this particular chat bot or AI powerful chat model to appear to collect your email IDs on your blogs, websites, funnels, wherever you're pitching it up. So you could go ahead and just put this particular JavaScript and it's all done. That's how simple it is. You could go ahead and you could, even if you have a WordPress website, or if you have any other form of website which you would like to install it on, we have all the integrations available. Other than this, what we have is we have integrations with a lot of tools. We have a webhook available. You could actually hook it up to anything you like with your personal APIs and stuff. And if you want, like, we have Google Sheets, we have MailChimp, MailerLite, ConvertKit, Zapier, Aweber, GetResponse, we have more integrations coming soon, so that is not a problem. Other than that, you could have some settings here. You could say that do you want to show OptinChat or on mobile or not, or do you want to go ahead and receive weekly reports, daily reports. And even if you have to uninstall OptinChat, it's very simple. You don't have to remove the code. You could just switch off this particular button which says off, and then you could say it will be given an alert. You could go ahead and do that, and OptinChat would not be visible on your website or funnel anymore. It's extremely simple. It's just one switch. Other than that, we have quite a visualization of stuff. We have the funnels. Here you could go ahead and measure your stats. We have the records where you would be able to see all the email opt-ins available, and then we have certain other features. You could also go ahead and do quite a lot of other things as well. For example, you could go ahead and say create an A/B test. With one click, you'll be able to split test your OptinChat campaign and see whose conversion is more. All right, so I hope this makes it clear and precise how OptinChat works. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you out.